Life, Career, and Relationships for Kate Hudson, a Jyotish case study. Kate Hudson's chart carries a very distinct signature of creativity, emotional intensity, artistic intelligence, and relational complexity. With Cancer rising in Punarvasu, a powerful 9th house stellium in Pisces, a 7th house Moon-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn, and a 10th house Sun in Ashwini, her life unfolds exactly the way Jyotish predicts. Charismatic artistic success, emotional sensitivity, spiritual, creative depth, and a relationship life marked by intensity, cycles of transformation, and unconventional choices. Below is the full intelligence type map, integrated with her real-life expressions in career, personality, creativity, and publicly known relationships, all grounded in Parasari astrology. Linguistic intelligence, expressed through storytelling, acting, interviews, and memoir writing. Mercury in Pisces in Uttara Bhadrapada makes Kate a natural storyteller. Pisces gives metaphor, intuition, emotional nuance. Mercury brings articulation. Your linguistic intelligence file notes that Mercury plus Moon-Jupiter patterns produce expressive, emotionally intelligent communicators. T's life. She has always been known for her naturally warm, relatable, expressive communication style. Her interviews, talk show presence, and podcast conversations reveal fluency, charm, humor, and emotional awareness. She also co-authored a book, Pretty Happy, where her voice blends intuition, personal narrative, and accessible advice, a classic Mercury and Pisces expression. Relationship impact. Communication for her is emotional, symbolic, intuitive, but not always linear or literal. Partners who need direct, structured communication may find her style elusive or too emotional. Mercury in Pisces needs understanding, patience, and emotional resonance. Emotional mismatch in communication has played a role in some of her breakups. Visual spatial intelligence, driving her cinematic presence, styling, and entrepreneurial aesthetics. Mars, Venus, and Mercury in Pisces create deeply imaginative visual intelligence. Pisces is the sign of cinema, fantasy, glamour, photography, and myth-making. Jupiter aspects these planets, creating the Jupiter-Venus-Mercury artistic triad. Your visual intelligence file associates with high creative perception. How it shows in K performance in Almost Famous, Golden Globe, relied on emotional imagery, aura, and presence, not technical acting alone. Her effortless sense of style led to Fabletics, a fashionless fitness brand built on aesthetic expression. She gravitates toward visually expressive roles, romantic comedies, glamorous characters, emotionally vibrant personas. Relationship impact. Pisces planets often fall in love with the idea or image of someone first. Partners who inspire her visually, artistically, or symbolically attract her more than purely pragmatic ones. This contributes to quick romantic beginnings and equally quick dissolutions when the fantasy fades. Logical, mathematical intelligence, practical in business, intense in problem solving, abstract in thought. Her logic is nonlinear. Mars in Pisces gives imaginative reasoning. Saturn in Capricorn gives disciplined strategy. Ketu in Aquarius gives abstract pattern recognition. Your logical intelligence file notes that Mars-Ketu-Saturn patterns produce analytical insight with unusual logic pathways. How it shows in Kate's life. She expanded Fabletics into a major brand. She makes business decisions intuitively, but follows through with Saturnian discipline. She excels in problem solving when emotionally invested, but disconnects when bored or uninspired. Relationship impact. She approaches relationship problems emotionally first, logically second. Saturn with Moon makes her withdraw under stress. She processes emotions privately, not outwardly. This is one reason several relationships have ended due to emotional distance rather than overt conflict. Musical intelligence. Deeply rooted, recently blossomed Venus in Pisces is a major musical yoga. Your musical intelligence file explicitly states that Venus in artistic signs with Moon-Jupiter support creates intrinsic musical ability. Moon contributes rhythm, Jupiter adds creative wisdom, Pisces ional flow. How it shows in Kate's life. Her debut music album in 2024 surprised the industry, but was perfectly aligned with her chart. Music is not a hobby. It's an intelligence that was dormant but destined. Relationship impact. Creative natives with Pisces Venus crave soulful, poetic, artistic love. If partners cannot match emotional depth or artistic resonance, relationships lose meaning. Interpersonal intelligence, warm, relatable, charismatic, publicly loved. The moon in the 7th house gives emotional sensitivity to partners and the public. Saturn there adds maturity but also caution. Rahu in the 2nd gives a charismatic voice and mass-friendly persona. Your interpersonal intelligence file notes Mercury Moon Rahu patterns as signatures for public magnetism. How it shows in Kate's life. Kate is widely loved for warmth, friendliness, Liddy. She thrives in collaborative environments, ensembles, and public interactions. Relationship impact. Moon Saturn in the 7th creates cycles of emotional closeness followed by emotional withdrawal. This signature is known for attracting older or emotionally mature partners, relationships with karmic lessons, repeating themes of responsibility and emotional testing. This fits her real-life partnerships with Chris Robinson, Matt Bellamy, and Danny Fujikawa. All relationships that taught emotional boundaries, maturity, and self-worth. Intrapersonal intelligence. Extremely high Jupiter in the ascendant creates self-awareness and personal wisdom. 1. K2 in the 8th house gives introspection and emotional excavation. Your intrapersonal intelligence file notes Jupiter plus K2 as strong indicators of self-reflective intelligence. How it shows in Kate's life. She has always been vocal about personal growth, emotional healing. Her book, podcast, and interviews reveal deep understanding of her inner patterns, childhood conditioning, and emotional evolution. Relationship impact. She often grows faster inwardly than partners can match. Her relationships tend to end when she feels she has outgrown the emotional dynamic. Existential intelligence, one of her dominant forces. K2 in the 8th house in Purva Bhadrapada creates spirituality, psychological insight, and a fascination with meaning and depth. Mercury, Venus, and Mars in Pisces deepen existential instinct. Your existential intelligence file lists Jupiter, K2, 8th house emphasis as the strongest signature for philosophical and spiritual orientation. How it shows in Kate's life. Her interviews frequently touch on identity, truth, relationships, emotional healing, femme personal philosophy. She naturally questions deeper aspects of life and love. Relationship impact. She cannot tolerate relationships that feel shallow, dishonest, emotionally stagnant, or spiritually misaligned. This is a major reason her partnerships have evolved the way they have. Naturalist intelligence, symbolic and emotional, not ecological. Mercury and Moon give environmental sensitivity, but Pisces makes it symbolic, connected to mood, emotion, and metaphor. Your naturalist file notes Mercury Moon K2 combinations create pattern sensitivity rather than literal ecological mindset. How it shows in Kate's life. Her connection to nature is seen in lifestyle, wellness, and emotional metaphors, but not as a core profession. She prefers partners who enjoy emotional environments, travel, oceans, creativity, aesthetic surroundings. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence, expressive, rhythmic, embodied. Mars in Pisces gives fluidity, Moon Saturn gives discipline, Rahu adds expressive charisma. Your kinesthetic intelligence file notes Mars, Mercury, Rahu as signatures for expressive body intelligence. How it shows in Kate's life. Her dancing, yoga, stage presence, and physical expressiveness in roles reflect this. Her fitness brand Fabletics is an extension intelligence into entrepreneurship. Relationship impact. She seeks physical chemistry, emotional connection, and embodied presence in partners, all essential for long-term compatibility. Relationship patterns, public information interpreted through the chart. Chris Robinson, marriage 2000 to 2007, Cancer rising plus Pisces cluster equals emotional romance, artistic bonding. Moon Saturn equals emotional pressure, responsibility, growing apart. High existential intelligence, outgrowing the emotional container. Matt Bellamy, engagement 2010 to 2014, strong artistic bond, but her Pisces cluster needed spiritual unity. Moon Saturn created emotional distance. K2 in 8th will relational detachment when deeper psychological needs aren't met. Danny Fujikawa, Twinizant, much more emotionally stable dynamic. Moon in 7th seeks nurturing, Saturn seeks commitment, both are present. Pisces planets seek artistic, soulful resonance, also present. This is the relationship most aligned with her chart's emotional and spiritual architecture. Final synthesis. This chart shows a life shaped by sensitivity, creativity, wisdom, and artistic expression. Her strongest intelligences, linguistic, musical, visual spatial, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and existential, manifest vividly in her acting, music, writing, brand building, and emotional presence in the public sphere. Her relationships evolve through emotional maturation cycles shaped by Moon-Saturn intensity, Pisces idealism, Cancer sensitivity, and Ketu spiritual detachment. She loves deeply, grows intensely, and moves on when the soul call shifts. Her career, personality, spiritual tendencies, and relational evolution all follow the exact trajectory her chart outlines.